Hi, this is Dr. Eric Thomas speaking today about a condition that's very characteristic. Most people won't get it. Dentists are often the people who first identify it, and it's a good condition to talk about. You're not going to be interested probably if you don't have it, but anyway, it's called Lichen Planus, Lichen Planus. There are characteristic forms of it. It's a condition by itself. One of the important things I want to point out is that certain medicines can produce a drug rash that looks a bit like lichen planus. And as I mentioned, dentists often will first see it because a fair number of people, some say 50%, I'm not sure it's that high, have it inside their mouth where it appears not on the tongue, but on the what we call the buccal mucosa, as a pattern of white, yellow, purple-white lines. It's a little bit like fine lace. Those lines are given a special name, Wickham's striae, there you go. And they can also be seen sometimes on the skin in well-developed areas of lichen planus. So lichen planus loves showing up on the inside of the wrists, but can show up anywhere in the body. It usually lasts, 6 months, a year, but if it settles down on the shins, it seems to like that area, and I've seen it last 20 years there. So what is it? Well, when you look under a microscope, there's a band-like inflammation at a certain layer between the epidermis and dermis that seems to be attacking the skin. Why it's attacking it, whether there was an illness, whether it's genetic, can't go into here, and it's not fully known. But there are certain other things that are important. I'm trying to get the things that we really don't want to forget about. There are some people who develop this who have hepatitis or other internal illnesses. So it's usually a signal for checking out your internal health, either by your dermatologist who can order some blood tests, or if you have a family care provider, PCP, that's a good place to start also for the workup for internal illness. Once you've seen lichen planus, and if it's characteristic, it's pretty easy to diagnose. But it does vary quite a bit, and it can be a little tricky. One of the things that we look to differentiate it from other conditions is that it sometimes follows areas where people may have scratched the area. It's called an isomorphic response because the condition itself follows the area of injury. If you want to be really fancy, it's called a Kebner phenomenon after a fellow long years ago. But this phenomenon could also occur in psoriasis. Now, I think they look quite a bit different. The location's different, but anyway, it's nothing. That's what I love about dermatology. You have to look at the whole picture, where it's located, how long it's been there, whether it itches, genetics, age. So there are a lot of little tricks of the trade there. But anyway, what do you do about lichen planus? Well, if it doesn't itch too much, you don't have to treat it. Inside the mouth, it's usually not treated unless it becomes, the skin breaks down. If you get erosions or ulcerations, then there are special products or even internal medicines, even prednisone or some other chemical medicines such as Cellcept, that can suppress the inflammation, perhaps with a little less danger than prednisone or steroids do. But so if you are only a little bothered, then on the surface of the skin we usually use topicals. Again, usual place to start is with steroids. Usually you need a prescription strength one. but there are non-cortisone products that are used to suppress it, such as Elidel or Protopic. In the United States, those are brand names. But it's an interesting condition. I'm sorry if you have it. I am sympathetic. I kind of love what I do, so while I sympathize, I also kind of really get carried away sometimes by the biology of it. Hope that this has helped you a bit, and work with your dermatologist to diagnose it, with your family doctor to make sure that there's nothing bad going on, and then treat it as appropriate, which, as I've said, could be anything from, well, benign neglect, if it's not bothering you, to topical rub-ons, to pills, and so forth and so on. This is Dr. Eric Thomas wishing you good health, and thank you for listening.